so early. You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee, 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 coffee.
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Oh, hey. Fuck.
Not even 30 seconds. Not even 30 seconds.
It sucks when I'm the only one doing stuff.
That's okay, Martin. We're about to discuss a show that is full of F-bombs.
Has anybody broken the
I don't think so. No.
Yes, Colonizer
Jeebus
did.
has.
Well,
We're like the late show.
I get to play this one.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
Nice.
I drink coffee like Mexican children in children in Mexico, whatever that was.
Little kids in Mexico. How long have you had that trailer for? Huh?
I don't know.
Still don't know the words.
I don't count. I don't pay attention to that stuff. I got to focus my energy on planning the next show, loving
Energy?
my girlfriend,
What's energy?
being there for my friend when he's having a shitty night. It's the least I can do. Let's see who's all here. Penny was the first one to post that. You don't count Dust Wolfen. Penny was the first one. She said, "Good morning, Gerry." Good morning, Penny. Darius Munchausen, wake up! Yeah. Darius Munchausen, as I always say, is to date the safest Munchausen for children. D-Bud Martin is here. Good morning, my friend. Dragon Ruse. Brightest day. Yes, you are here, my friend. Colonizer Jeebus. Thank you. Come again. I do that, and I know he's Japanese. It's just I find that funny they're doing that because, wait, I get to break it. Oh, yes, I get to use this one because no matter how awesome that sounded, you, sir, are a racist. Let's see. We got, Brightest Day, and Shinatsky's here. Good morning, Shinatsky.
He's here, but not here. Why are you not here, Shanatsky?
Yeah, feel free to drop in, man. I came along at the worst sounding time. Children in Mexico. Just in case you were curious, Martin is a child in Mexico.
Yes.
I'm in Mexico, but I'm not a child, man. 49 years, I'm counting.
49 years.
He also likes his coffee as well.
And there's
That's
no
for
way
sure.
you're 49.
Yeah.
I call BS on that.
Forever 49.
Yeah,
Because
man.
I'm 52. There's no way you're 49.
Yeah, I am a 1973 model.
Oh, Penny is saying good morning to everybody.
Yeah.
Morning, Penny.
Hi, Penny.
Hi, Penny.
John, no matter how old you are, you know what always is good? Listening to new music, like stuff from Billy Idol.
Oh, at least it's Billy Idol this time.
Penny is watching episode 2 right now, Vox. I got to tell you, I went in expecting it to be woke and just really bad writing. And I was laughing from first episode to the final episode. I got emotional a couple of times because there's really good writing in there. You really care about these characters. And I told Anima, I said, and like between episode 1 and episode 2, there's a big emotional moment there.
Yep.
And it paid off. I really liked it. Eyes Wide Open. How about Eyes Without a Face? Billy Idol. Oh, speaking of Billy Idol, Scott.
Hello, Joe.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Yes.
Your cue. I said, "Oh, Eyes Wide Open reminds me of Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol."
Exactly.
Speaking of Billy Idol,
there's a brand new album called The Cage. You want to check it out? The first 3 songs have been released, and The Cage is really good.
I listened to it last night. I didn't get to listen to the whole thing while Scott was there because he's ADD. He wanted me to go straight over to like one song, then the next song, and never finish the song. But
why does that sound
the
familiar?
2 new songs that he showed me last night were really good. Bruce Springsteen put out a very Sinatra song. I don't know about the rest of the album, but that one song in particular, it's got the horn section, and it was really good. It was not with the E Street Band.
E Street Band. It was just with him doing solo
video
stuff.
Is the drummer. I'm like, hey, that's not the E Street drummer. And he goes, no, look at the name, and pointed out the obvious that it didn't say E Street. So
yep, it's just solo stuff, and it's very Sinatra. It's Don't Play That Song. It's a good Springsteen song. It's really good.
And of course, my promo for Scott is Scott pointing out the obvious since 1974.
One song at a time.
One song at a time. Joe's Atmosphere is here. Thanks for coming on. That was fun last night. I was sitting there on a date with this woman
We
I love.
hijacked his stream.
And I tell her, hey, Joe's doing that stream. I'm going to hop over there real quick. Next thing you know, she hops over there.
Yeah.
And we hijacked his stream. It was fun. It was a lot of fun hanging out with you, Joe.
Because he left the studio and I was like, yeah, okay, so I'm going to watch it on my phone. Then I remembered, wait, I have the link too. So we just took over.
Wait a minute. Has Billy Idol fucked other dudes or been fucked by other dudes?
I think he's talking about his style. But
I don't think that's true, buddy.
No, he's not. He's a grandfather.
I'm being literal. I'm being literal. No, look, whether you like him or not, I love Billy Idol. Dashboard Jesus was off his 2015 album.
Yes.
I love that album. When he does something, man, it's edgy.
And when you think you know Christmas music, then you hear his Christmas album from last year,
God, yeah,
2021, and then you're like, wow, that's some good stuff.
Here, Brightest Day says, fun fact, I randomly decided to bleach my hair. That's a great way to start a sentence. I decided to bleach my hair. A year when I was younger, that week Billy Idol released an album, and I discovered 2 of his old albums on cassette. So are you saying the bleaching was what led to that? I'm confused. Brightest Day.
I'm confused too.
And you know what? If that was my story, it would have ended with anus.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Probably.
now, come on.
Probably.
Bleaching my anus.
That's
Gerry
so wrong on many
Gerry
levels.
likes to break his own back door.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Self-abuse is the most sincerest kind.
It's still abuse. It's still abuse.
That quote is from David Gerald. God bless you, David Gerald, for entertaining us. And I'm sorry you didn't want to stay friends with me, but that's okay. I still love you. I was too conservative for him, and he unfriended me. We talked a lot, too. He was I like him. I really wish he hadn't done that because I really liked him. He wrote Trouble with Tribbles and more Trouble with Tribbles. He was a really good, entertaining writer. I thought it was sad that John Cusack made that movie about his life and they had to change that he was gay and make him a widower or some shit. I'm like, that's not David Gerald. David Gerald was gay. And if you've never seen that movie, you should watch it. It's a pretty good film. What movie is that? Hold on.
Yeah, please.
Martian Child. And it's the semi-biographical story of their adoption of a boy with Asperger's. Him and his gay partner. And it's a good film. It really is. And I like David. I like what he did with helping that little boy. Nobody wants to see my anus bleached? Oh.
Bleached or not?
The greatest Christmas song ever is Billy Squires' Christmas is the Time. I don't remember that song. And I listen to Billy Squire all the time. I'm going to have to go listen to it.
It's Christopher Lee's A Heavy Metal Christmas.
All good Christmas songs, but not the best. But keep going.
Yeah. I'm not here because I have a real job. Oh, Shinatsky. I swear to God, dude. I'm going to kick you in the... No, I'm not going to kick you in the junk. I love Shinatsky. You should add You Call This Coffee to your intro. Wait a minute. Okay, Dragon Ruse, I don't remember that quote. What's that from?
I think the movie's that one, the greatest movie ever.
Well, I don't know. I'm not going to talk anymore until Dragon Ruse posts and hey.
Show killer.
Show is on pause. Oh, Willie the Monkey King's music channel of doom. Jesus Christ, get a shorter name.
And I'm going to write down as Willie or Willie the Monkey.
You know what, Ice? I got to tell you, dude, I had a religious group attack me when they found out about it that, like, I wrote a story about an alien planet that experiences God and the Christ. And they got so angry at me for writing that. And I said, but if there are alien life forms out there, don't you think they do that too? And by the way, the reference in Genesis, if you look at the true translation of the world, it means cosmos. That's what it means.
Hey, boss, read this.
It comes from a movie of no import.
Really? That's in there? Okay, I'm going to go...
Dragon Rose is Godzilla.
I'm going to go... actually, I'm going to be honest. I think I have that movie. I'm going to go check.
I know I have it.
I have it, but I don't watch it. I have it for completeness only.
On that. It's just like me saying, I have Behind the Green Door, but I never watch it. That's bullshit.
No, honestly, I haven't. I've seen that movie exactly once, and that's when I went to the theater to see it.
All right. I'm going to go look it up on my hard drive right now, see if I already have it.
And I came out going, what the F was this BS?
Nope. I've got Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Godzilla versus Space Godzilla, Godzilla versus Space Godzilla English dub, Godzilla 2000, and then the latest Godzilla films. So for some reason, I don't have that one. That's odd.
I have the whole Godzilla collection.
Yeah, I have everything in Japanese.
Indeed.
You have everything in Japanese? Like everything ever put out in
everything
Japanese?
Godzilla in Japanese.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because I was taking you literally.
Yeah. I have a lot in Japanese. But...
Wait a minute. You thought what was Phil Collins' band? The fuck is he talking about?
I don't know.
Well, Gary, I can't do Willie the Monkey King because that's already one of the channels. Oh yeah. What, Martin?
Joe's. He's sending me the link to the song that you don't know that he was talking about. Give me a second before put it on the private chat.
But I'm still a little confused by what Jeebus was talking about. He says, I thought it was Phil Collins. Are you talking about the song, the Christmas song? Is he talking about the Christmas song here?
Here, the link is on the private chat.
Oh, that's a porn site, dude. I'm not falling for that.
Oh, come on. Do it for the show. Sex bots inbound in 3.
Oh my God. I remember that fucking hairdo. He had Billy Squire. Like a head full of hair. Yeah, I remember this now. Yeah. I was a big fan of Billy Squire. Why he had to shoot that video in pink, it ruined his career. It's like, today, nobody would blink at it. Nobody would care. You go, oh, that's so nice. He's coming out.
He had a limited shelf life anyway.
I hated thinking that because I really liked his style. Edgy, a little edgy, a little naughty, know. So, but, I was a big Billy Idol fan back in, what was it, 82, 81, 82.
Gerry.
Oh, that's technically doing it there. That's doing it there. So let's do it one more time.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
I think it's funny that it really looks like female genitals.
Yeah.
The lock. But let's get started on Vox. I think we got 14 people here. Well, we've gone on long enough, about 20 minutes. Oh yeah, the original VJs are on it. Now you say VJ, and I immediately think of like my Indian friend that I grew up with, VJ. It's so funny. Before we start,
is that the one with the accent or the one without?
It was funny. They were brothers, Sanjay and VJ, and their father owned Twilight Motel. And I used to call that motel, because that's where all the construction workers would stay, because he had a great weekly rate for people that were laborers just working in the area from West Virginia, Maryland, and such. But I loved it when I would call, he'd go, Toilet Motel, may I help you? And I just thought it was funny because it sounded like he was saying Toilet Motel. And so I just kept calling back. And one day, VJ looks at me and goes, Gary, I need to ask you a favor. Will you stop calling and hanging up on my father? I'm like, that's not me. He goes, my dad knows it's you. And that was the first one.
Raging Rat is again.
Oh, Raging Rat, hi. What's up, dude? That was the first time I ever made the Vishnu joke, because they had the Vishnu idol in their kitchen. And I said, I knew what it was. I said, hey, what's that? And Vishnu goes, that's Vishnu. I said, Vishnu told me that earlier. And nobody laughed. Like I said, most of my jokes are for me, not for anybody else. But we're going to start on the show. And who's starting us off? John, Anima, who's starting us off?
Well, for those that don't know, Legend of Vox Machina is based on the D&D campaign of Critical Role, which are a bunch of voice actors that got together and they started recording their weekly D&D game for public consumption, and it's taken off and it's really huge. The first 2 episodes actually of the series, Legend of Vox Machina, actually are a recap of what happened before they started putting their series on YouTube. So, but the show starts out with...
So it's based on a show based on a game.
Yeah.
It's a trickle down storytelling thing.
Yeah, I guess. But no, it starts out with the Tal'Dorei Council. Tal'Dorei's the continent of where this.
Well, actually, it starts off with a narrator telling us how a great evil came upon the kingdom of Tal'Dorei, and we get to see the last group of mercenaries slaughtered.
And we get to see
I forgot about that.
It looked like something from Lord of the Rings with the wizard and gray, and
it's
it was
really
great.
funny. And they're posing, and then just like
completely wrecked, instantly. And the first F-bomb of the show is delivered right there.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm liking this, and then they just keep swearing. It's great.
But
you just
then it goes into the Tal'Dorei Council, where they're talking about the great
and powerful Oz
threat. No, the great threat that's threatening the area, and then it cuts.
And they don't even know what it is.
Yeah,
no, they don't know what it is.
And they do a really good job in the show of hiding him in the mist.
Yes.
Just suddenly people are being torn apart, smashed.
Yeah, so they're they've hired a bunch of mercenaries, and all the mercenaries have failed. And so they cut to Vox Machina,
the group,
which is the name of the mercenary group, and they're in a tavern and they're having a drinking contest, which Grog wins, obviously. And
Scanlan isn't in on that because he's with the.
Well, I'll get to that
the
in a second.
innkeeper's daughter.
He's being Scanlan.
Yeah.
Grog, after Grog wins, a patron is rather upset and tries to start a fight with Keyleth, who is the druid. After attempts to kind of defuse the situation, it kicks off in a bar brawl, and they get kicked out in the street, and then Scanlan joins them shortly after the innkeeper found him with the daughter. So
I like how they break the fourth wall there.
Yeah,
the innkeeper is furious because everything is broken. They don't have money to pay for it.
Yeah, they got like 3 silver or something.
What is that dwarf doing with my daughter? And cut to Scanlan, and he turns around, breaking the fourth wall. You better not know that. Because he wants to fuck everything that has a pulse, basically.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's his goal.
I'm sorry, Jeeves. Read Jeeves. Actually, Jeeves, the big conflict in Jeebus's mind is, do I buy the toy or do I buy weed?
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy both. That's Jeebus. That's a day in the life of Monkey Jeebus. I love you, buddy.
But
we'll keep going, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine. It just occurred to me we probably need to tell people who these characters are.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's important.
No, I think we should.
What I think we should do is I should go find images of each character. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find those, and Vox Machina characters.
All right, well,
and
you
then
do that.
On the backdrop of showing each character, I'll let you explain them. So let's see. I think that'll be a better way of doing it, because they'll be like, what? Who's he talking about now? All their names go together. I don't understand.
Yeah, it gets really funny with the twins, Vex and Vax. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vexelia and Vex.
Sort of like Six and Zax. Don't you? Because I made that joke that their names are. Never mind. Fuck you guys.
I could just pop over and get their Funko Pops and just show them.
I
have
use a
them
little
all.
mnemotechnic.
Nobody wants to see your porn, nerd porn.
Oh, my God. Do it, John.
Do it, John. Do it.
Yeah, it's for real. Do it.
Yeah, I'll take a picture and show it to you later, Martin.
Okay.
No, go ahead and do it. Jesus Christ, John.
What's the point of collecting?
Yeah, go
Funko
do
if
it.
you don't show them.
Seriously,
I'll
it's
be back.
fine.
Collectibles are for showing off. So, as I was trying to say, I use a little mnemotechnia with Vex and Vax. Vex is the girl because I find her vexing sometimes. So, there you have it.
She's hard to figure out. It's like there
Yeah.
are moments when I'm watching her, I'm like, is she like into her brother a little too much?
Really? Did you notice that too? Did you?
No,
notice
the
that?
brother is in love with another character.
Yeah.
You only think that because he's welcoming to the guy that at the shop. And I was like, oh, he's gay.
Yeah, well,
But then
also
later
No,
I'm like,
he's not
the
gay. He's
tavern?
bi.
At
He's
the
bi.
tavern.
he's trisexual. He'll try anything.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's Scanlan.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
at the
Scanlan
tavern,
definitely.
Before the fight starts, he confronts that guy.
But Scanlan is definitely
very
a
gay
power
way.
is a power top.
Oh,
He
yeah.
doesn't care what he's on top of.
As long as he's on top of something.
That has a pulse.
Yes.
So
I
there's
am
there's
not
that
so sure
photo.
about the pulse thing, to be honest.
All right.
Gross.
That is Grok Strongjaw. He's a Goliath barbarian.
Why does he have a beard here? He doesn't have one in the show.
It's a running joke later on in the
Good morning, Wade.
later on in the thing about him growing a beard, and he finally grows one because he can't grow one for a long time. But he is voiced by Travis Willingham, who also does the voice of Thor on the Avengers animated series and in the Avengers game.
That's cool. He is a really cool character. Scanlan is my favorite. Grog is my second favorite. And my third favorite is the little tiny dwarf girl that has the mystical
Pike.
abilities that
Pike.
uses the light.
Pike.
I like
It's
her.
Pike.
And then the next character I really like is the dude with the gun.
That's Percival. But this is Scanlan Shorthalt.
Hey, it comes with his hand.
Yep, he was riding his hand in the figure. But he is a halfling barbarian. Or not halfling bard, not barbarian, sorry.
A gnome.
Brain fart. Yeah, you're right, gnome. Dang it.
That's why I
feel like an
wrote
idiot
it
now.
down.
Too much lores combined.
No, that's okay. I just watched it and I wrote everything down. So
I guess I can do. No, I won't show you that Vex because that's confusing because I've got an alternate costume. But here are the twins, Vexelia and Vaxeldan. Vexelia is voiced by, or I forgot to say, Scanlan is voiced by Sam. I forgot his last name now, but he's another voice actor. I can't remember what he's done off the top of my head. But
the whole crew is our voice actor.
They're all voice actors.
That's why they're called Vox Machina.
Yes.
Sam Riegel.
Yeah, Regal. Yeah. The Vexelia is a half-elven ranger, and Vaxeldan is a half-elven rogue, and they're twins. And Vaxelia is voiced by Laura Bailey, who does the voice of Black Widow on the Avengers animated shows, and she's also the voice of Laura Proudmoore. She's done a lot of voice work. Once you hear her voice, you'll know.
John.
Yes.
I think we need to address this and which is tied to the origin of the show, which is tied to the origin of the actors playing the game.
Okay.
Because it really sounded very dumb what we said. Yeah, the voice actors are voice actors.
Yeah, they're all well. Yeah, but they're professional voice actors, and they got together and decided to start playing D&D 6 years ago now, 7 years ago. So yeah, and this grew out of their campaign. They said, "Hey, let's put this online," and as a YouTube show, and it got really huge and popular. Now Critical Role is probably the biggest podcast next to Joe Rogan.
I don't know why, but it feels like this reminds me of that shit that I think it was Justin Roiland, or was it Dan Harmon that created that D&D game where they're
Harmon
playing?
Quest. Dan Harmon
they
Quest.
started animating the game as they're playing.
That actually came after.
So it
Critical
came
Role.
later. Okay.
Yeah, came after Critical Role. I've also got an alternate costume, Vexelia, where she's in her witch costume, which is an adventure that happens later on in the first, in the series. You won't see that in Vox Machina, but next up is, I'll do Pike. It's Pike Trickfoot.
Oh, that's my favorite.
She's a great character.
Yeah, she's a cleric. She's voiced by Ashley Johnson, who you may remember from the.
John, just let you know, Brightest Day just shit on you.
Oh, what did he say?
We just addressed
right there on
that.
the screen.
Oh yeah, we already addressed that.
He was just making fun of it.
Yeah, Ashley Johnson. She has a live action role. You may remember she was the waitress in Avengers.
Yep,
that had a thing for
oh
Captain America.
Yeah.
In fact, my mom thought that she was going to get with Captain America, but next up is we'll do Keyleth. She's the half-elven druid. She's voiced by
Marisha Ray.
Marisha Ray, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to remember some of the stuff she's done. I mean, these are all, mostly, a lot of them do just games exclusively. A lot of them, like Laura Bailey, does everything. We've got Percival DeRollo. I can't remember his full name because it's ridiculously long, but he is a well, he's a special class. He's not really a D&D class. He's actually a gunslinger. But they make a special class for him that you can actually get on the D&D app and actually play him. And last is my favorite character, Trinket, the bear, who is the pet of Vexalia, pet friend, and who is voiced by Matthew Mercer. Now, there are a couple of relationships on these panel. Travis Willingham and Laura Bailey are married, and Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray are married. So yeah, so that's basically Vox Machina.
All right.
I
Now,
think
these are your main characters on the
Yep.
team that he just described to you, and let's keep going.
All right. Well, after they get thrown out of the bar, they're realizing that they're broke, and they're
Did you
wondering.
mention the cutting off the dude's hand?
Yeah, no.
No.
That's
That was
important.
the bar fight. That's yeah. The guy that starts a bar fight gets his hand cut
Because there's
off.
payoff for that later.
Yeah.
The dude grabs Vax, and Vax goes all gay on him, and then Grog just cuts off his hand.
Yep.
And keeps it. He keeps it.
Yep. That's
As you
another
would.
running joke. He's got a bag of holding in the game that in the show that he keeps random body parts in, which is kind of a running joke. Yeah, it's ooh, but they realize that they've been kicked out of every bar in Amman, and they're broke, and Keyleth is wondering why they're all sticking together. Well, Scanlon goes to use the restroom, take a whiz, and he sees he's doing it right in front of the notice board, and he sees a notice for by the Tal'Dorei Council for mercenaries. So they go up, and first to the palace. And first, the guards aren't going to let him in until they showed the advertisement. And Scanlan does this song that introduces everybody, and there's illusions, and it's really cool.
Well, at first, nobody even notices them because they are in council discussing what to do about the beast that they still don't know what it is. I think when Grog burps, they get realized. They realize that they are there. And fun fact, by the way, all the voice actors drank a lot of soda and had a burp contest, basically, and the two best ones were combined to make that one.
Yes.
I find that funny. Trivia like that.
By the way,
you went deeper than I did.
If you didn't know this, Anima Confusa is our burp connoisseur.
What the fuck? Yeah, because I hear you burp all the time.
Yeah, I don't even pretend. Like, if I did it earlier when we started the show. I had a coffee burp. I'm like,
well, just
but
let
anyway,
you guys know, whenever you hear all these burps, you can always listen to new music. Just throwing that out there. Sammy Hagar.
You messed that one up, Scott. Try again in about 5 minutes.
I did. Try it again. All right.
Anyway, so General Krieg says that, hey, we should give him a chance, and the leader of Amon, Sovereign Uriel says, hey, let's give him a chance because he's impressed with the bear.
Yeah, but you get, well, it's not an impression. You get how some members of the council say these guys, they're good for nothing. Don't use them.
Yeah.
And there are others that say, no, let's use them. But their intention is because they're good for nothing. They're setting Vox Machina to fail.
Yeah, they're expecting them to die like all the other mercenaries.
Well, Krieg does, because he actually wants to send in the army.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we should give them a chance.
He's the guy that talks like Sean Connery.
And he is voiced by David Tennant, by the way.
Yeah, now the non-main casts are voiced by obviously other voice actors with some fairly decent talent names in there.
No, I got to tell you, when it comes to the production, one of the first things that blew me away. Well, first somebody said anime. I said that is not anime. That is more like Warner Studios style animation.
I think it was Bill Barkley who says that it was anime. And
somebody did. I can't remember who. But I mean, it's not anime. It's not done in the anime style. It's done more like American animation, and I really do like it. There's a lot of CG added in for 3D elements. Like they'll do a wash painting, and the doors when they open, the first time you see the palace doors open, those are 3D. I like the way that was blended. They did a really good job. I love everything. The dragon is CG.
Yeah.
And it's a proper dragon, and I expect D&D to get that stuff right. Because so often they'll show up, what's it called? A Wyrix? It's
wyvern,
not a dragon.
Wyvern.
Yeah.
Wyvern, that's it. Because they walk with their wings. That front legs are actually their wings.
Like
and
bats.
Their back legs. And they're dragon-like, but they're not actually dragons.
That's what my gripe with the Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones shows those.
Wyverns.
Also, the classic movie Dragon Slayer.
Yep, it's actually a wyvern.
Has one of those, and I do like though that they don't call it a dragon in the film; they call it a vermithrax.
Yeah,
and that was kind of a real cool thing in there. But they shouldn't have called it Dragon Slayer because it's not a dragon. But go ahead.
Hey, is Destiny Captain someone new? I don't.
Wait, let me see.
I've seen that name before.
No, Destiny Captain. Hello, my friend.
I know Destiny Captain. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah. Been there several times.
Yeah, thank you, Brett. Yeah, they said it too, but Wyvern. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, Wyrm. Yeah, Wyrm is because they use that in Dragon Slayer. Wyrm, vermithrax is what they call it, a fireworm.
Yeah.
No, Jeebus, they are not dragons. Dragons and wyverns are flying reptiles who spit fire, but
they're definitely in the same family, but they're different. What a dragon is it looks like basically the design of a brontosaurus, but with wings. Whereas the other uses its rear legs and its front arms are like bats, and they can walk on them. But the fact is, they take off by kicking off with the back legs and fly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you do know that everyone tries to cage all of them. And speaking of cage, you can always listen to the new Billy Idol Caged album. That was better, by the way.
Yeah, that was
I prefer Cage Free.
Cage Free. Listen to Billy Idol's new album, The Cage. Oh, sorry, John. I just had to throw it in there. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Scott.
No, you don't.
I am here for entertainment purposes. There you go.
Anyway, so they hop on a skyship, and Laura takes them to up to the shale steps, where these attacks have been happening, and in the council, Vex gets a strange premonition or pain about, and so she's concerned that one of the members might not be what they seem of the council. So anyway, as Vex tells Vax about that while they're on the airship, and then Allure just dumps them off, kind of in the wilderness. And while they're basically wandering around, they make it to a village, and they go to speak with the villagers. Pike blesses a house, but the woman isn't too impressed with her blessing because she's
out of practice.
Yeah, she's not that great of a cleric. Keep in mind, these characters are only like level 3 at this point, so they're not like the super powerful badasses they become by the end of the.
Also, I think she's going through some kind of identity crisis. Or
yes,
something.
She is. Yeah. She goes through a question of faith. That's yeah. But anyway, so they get there's a kid that,
Vex does a coin trick,
he's running the coins around his fingers and stuff, and some kid comes up and wonders if that's magic and wonder if he's a wizard, and Vax tells him it's just sleight of hand and gives him the coin, and
the kids tell them that they have not seen, but heard something really big and the sound of wings.
Yes.
Because all the adults tell them is clouds and lightning, and nobody has really seen anything, but the kids have heard the sound of wings. Yeah.
So Vex will Vex will go track the creature through the wilderness, and they see that the tracks eventually become human-like. They look like human footprints, and then she feels that same pain in her head she had in the council chamber, and then the dragon attacks.
Well, the dragon turns up.
Yeah, dragon
starts the attack because they would rather run, I think. But Grog starts the attack, so they all go in, and they make the dragon really angry.
Yeah, very angry. Basically, Keyleth hides the party, and so they can get away. Because
the dragon makes rocks drop on top of them, and Keyleth makes a shrub appear that shelters them from the rocks. And when they get out of there, the dragon is gone.
Right.
And they return to the village and find that the village is burnt down and everybody is dead. They find the kid. Well, no, Grog got hurt, and Pike heals him. And then they return to the village, find everything burned, everybody dead, but the boy is still alive, but she can't heal him because she hasn't regained her strength yet, so the boy dies.
Yeah, which ties back into them being only 3rd level because she doesn't have the spell. Anyway, it's a D&D thing. So basically, the Vax takes the coin so he can remember
yes
what happened here, because it kind of
they kind of agree to let this go because the dragon is beyond them. But when they find everybody dead in the village, they're like, okay, let's kill a fucking dragon.
Yep.
And that's a quote. That was not
Yeah, let's kill it. Yeah, it is. So that's the end of the first episode. Besides what I missed and Anima filled in, was there anything else?
No.
Oh, we need to move to episode 2.
Yep, episode 2 picks up.
Krieg and the army getting ready.
Yep. Yeah, the army's come up. He's moved the army up there, and Krieg's there. They're at the encampment, and in the middle of the night, the dragon attacks the army and kills pretty much everybody. Vox Machina comes back to Mon to tell them.
Important thing you missed. When the dragon attacks, we see all the army guys. We don't see Krieg because he is in his tent. He goes to his tent, and we don't see him.
I was leaving that out.
No, that's important.
Yeah, okay, but you're kind of giving it away when you do it that way.
He just seems like a coward at this point. He's sending his men into slaughter.
It's okay to give it away.
So yeah,
it's okay to give it away because this is a review and discussion. So,
all right. Well, basically, they go back and tell the council that there's a dragon.
That's also kind of funny because Krieg is there first and reports it's a dragon.
Yeah.
And then they come in and Scanlan is like, it's a dragon. And the whole council is like, we know.
Yeah. So Krieg says, let's muster all the troops and go after it. Kima doesn't want to do that. She thinks she doesn't want to move the troops out of the city, but Ural approves it, and Vax feels the that painful twinge again, and they tell him that somebody on the council's working with the dragon, and they suspect Fence. So Vex tells the group that, not the council. I don't know why I said the council, but so they split up, and Pike and Vax go to Gilmore's Glorious Goods to try and get some information about dragon weaknesses. And Gilmore is the proprietor, Sean Gilmore, and he's obviously he's not voiced by Matthew Mercer in this. I don't remember who's voicing him, but he's like the big merchant they go to buy their magic items and stuff all through the game. But he's like a major NPC. So they basically, Gilmore flirts with Vax because Gilmore's gay.
Very gay.
Yeah, he's flaming. But they get a book and they say that dragons will be killed where two rivers meet, which cryptic.
The worm shall only find defeat in the gorge where the twin rivers meet.
Okay, well, I didn't remember the whole quote. Anyway, so they basically, Vax thanks him, and they tells him he owes him. While Grog and Scanlan are drinking, and they see Fence, and so they track him down to a large house, large mansion, and they let the rest of the party know where he is, so they all sneak in. Turns out it's Krieg's house, not Fence's house. So they think Fence is going to kill Krieg because they suspect Fence is working with the dragon. So they go through the house, they go down to the cellar, they see Fence going through a bunch of scrolls, and they accuse him of trying to kill Krieg. Krieg, Fence tells him no, he's gathering evidence against Krieg, and Krieg shows up and kills him. They realize that Krieg must be working with the dragon. Krieg disappears into the next room, and the party follows, and he's gone. Poof.
That's when Vex gets her headache again and tells the others that Krieg must be in league with the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was naughty. Yeah, and what's interesting is the way that that dude is killed in that library is he's killed through the painting.
Yes.
Yeah, shish
A
kebab from
blade
behind.
just sort of comes through the painting and pierces his chest as he's trying to explain, "You don't understand what's going on."
Yep. And there is a lot of gore in this show.
Oh yes.
Oh my God!
Of gore.
Language, gore,
It's not for
sex.
kids.
Yeah, obviously not.
This is
yeah.
not the. Yeah. It is not a tumor.
Well, the Critical Role show is not really for kids either. Otherwise, I would have let my nephew watch it. But
now this
there's
is
too many-
good, fun entertainment for adults. You know,
Yes.
grown-ups.
Yes.
And I thoroughly enjoy the show. And the episode ends in a great way because we discover, and I'm going to give it away, that what's his name is the dragon.
Krieg.
Krieg
is the dragon.
Krieg is the dragon, the Sean Connery character,
Brim-
which I figured out
is
in
the name of the dragon.
the episode previous, where when they show the battle and the soldiers are getting attacked at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
I figured it was him because he goes into his tent, but he never comes out during the attack. And I thought, that's weird.
Yeah, I just thought he's a coward. Like,
At first, I
sends
thought
all
it
his
was.
people
At
into
first, I
battle,
thought it was
but he
bad
himself-
writing. At first, I thought it was bad writing, and then I realized no, that was on purpose. Because then he's there at the council, and he's saying that we barely escaped with our lives, and I'm like, oh. He's the dragon, or he's in league with the dragon. Actually, I didn't think he was the dragon. I thought he was in league with the dragon.
Also, he's really surprised when Vox Machina show up because last thing he saw was rocks dropping on them. So
Thinking they were
why
dead.
are you
Yeah.
guys still alive?
So it's a great episode. They defeat him and barely escape with their lives.
Yeah, because they figure out where the twin rivers meet means his neck. So they pin him
and
down
what's
to
his
the ground
name?
and just
The guy I like with the loot. He's
Scanlan.
trying to escape with some loot.
Yeah.
And falls and drops it all and escapes with his life.
Yeah, they don't get very much treasure out of that. But
What is that old saying about fortune favoring somebody?
fortune favoring the bold.
Yeah. This show kind of shows that they're lucky to get out alive. So they survive their first adventure. They show up with
thing. Well, there is one thing. When they're in the cave, when they first get there, they go through the portal in the wall that's covered over by the tapestry, or that's an illusion.
An illusion of a woman's butt.
Well, it's an illusion of a dragon.
Krog is like,
a humanoid
I'm
dragon.
touching her butt.
Yeah.
her booty.
Keela throws was it a cup or mug or something at him, and it goes through the wall. It goes through the painting, and that's when they know that it's illusion. Anyway, but when they're in the cave, there's somebody looking at them through a gem. And when they realize it, the gem breaks, and so obviously, somebody knows that they were there, but it isn't the dragon. So somebody else.
Krieg, and then he turns into the dragon.
Well, that's not.
Now, I do want to point out an interesting thing that I pointed out to Anima when we're watching it is that the guy is doing. You said that's David Tennant doing Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny that he's the dragon because Sean Connery played a dragon.
Dragonheart.
In Dragonheart. That's right. And I thought it was a clear, obvious nod to that.
That makes sense. But anyway, they get their reward. They're given ownership of a keep close by, so that way, if something happens, Vox Machina is close by to help out. They have a big banquet. They basically, he's Uriel says that he suspects Craig was part of a conspiracy, and Oh, the banquet's sorry. The banquet's
right?
next episode. Next episode.
That is planned, and guests are on the way, and the show ends with the carriage of Lord and Lady Briarwood being stopped by bandits, and Lord Briarwood just slaughters them.
Yes.
While she's sipping tea inside.
Yes. And which starts the second arc of the show, of the Critical Role show. It takes place. This is starting. They've skipped a bunch. They did
what I
the
like
early
about this
stuff.
show
They
is the character arcs, the characters themselves. I like the fact that they spent some time developing the idea of who these characters were by the game and everything, apparently.
Yes.
And there's great world building. I enjoy the cleverness of the show, the humor.
I'm a bit annoyed by Keyleth because she's doubting herself all the time.
Well,
whenever something happens, did I do that? Did I mess
That's
up?
her character arc.
Yeah.
Her character arc is that she starts out so timid and unsure, and she becomes more and more self-assured. That's the importance of character arcs. I like that when somebody doesn't come in knowing how great they are. I like to see that growth. I love the fact that what's his name, the little music player, Scanlan.
It's
he's
your
just
favorite
cocksure all the time, but even he kind of loses a lot of. He gets very doubtful of his abilities near the end. And I don't want to tell you what happens, Anima, because that his final battle, that's something else. That was a great fight.
Yeah.
And that he got out of that alive.
I can't believe you watched it all without me.
Well, I watched it before we met.
The thing about Keyleth is she eventually becomes Voice of the Tempest, which is the leader of the Arashari, which is her race. She's actually on. She's like the daughter of the previous voice. She's doing this where she's got to visit all the other elemental groups, the Fire Ashari, the Water Ashari, and the Earth Ashari.
I hate to interrupt you, but we have a super sticker.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I wanted to say thank you for popping back in, Darius. I appreciate it, man. I hope everything went smooth with the other show. Of course, I guarantee you it's either coffee or a flying bird.
Both. Is Big Bird with a mug of coffee.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know my Darius Munchausen. One day he's going to surprise me and put something really awful up there just to mess with me. Thank you, Darius, for the super sticker. For that, you're going to get one of my favorite new videos. Oh, I got to play this one. Here we go.
You don't deserve your family. Who taught Chris to whisper black out of respect for blacks? Me!
So racist. Oh, man.
Good, though.
Not as racist as this one.
Everything went black.
We were both laughing so hard at that scene, and then Gerry was like, I gotta clip this.
Yeah, I gotta clip
The
that.
only good thing that came from
Hello,
that episode
Courtney.
of Quantum Leap.
Oh, is Courtney here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Holy shit. Last time I saw Courtney, she was shitting on me for being a drummer. She said, do you know how to get a drummer to shut up? Put sheet music in front of him. I'm like, I know how to read sheet music.
But the new drum section in the new Billy Idol album is really good. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And this has been.
It's good to see you,
Talk.
Courtney.
By the way, Gerry, if you want to play that video.
Which video?
Yeah, 1 hour. Half of the show is done.
Oh, is it? Yeah, we've reached. Well, I was going to do it at 1:10, but fuck it. You guys wrapped up early, so here we go.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
We are a good team, John and I.
One of my favorite things is in the background. There is the two guys that are a tiger in Africa. They're like, it seems during the night, his leg was made off with by a tiger in Africa? Because tigers are in Asia. Anyway, it's a funny scene.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am.
And don't call
So
me Shirley.
I guess we can get into some Archer. I got to say that I'm so glad I introduced Anima to the show.
I love it.
I
still have so much catching up to do. I'm somewhere in season 2, I think. And I'm watching the new ones, but...
Well, we're watching the current season, plus I started to show her the new season, and I'm like, she's not going to understand this. She is not.
It's difficult because there's a huge gap between where I am and what a new season is at, but
yeah,
it's still funny.
So I had to go all the way back to the beginning for her, so she could better understand what this show is about. And to my delight, she loves the show. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's go.
That was actually the first animated show he introduced me to, and I was like, animated, really? I don't like that. And he was like, just one episode.
Don't
and I was
you
like, it's
tell
cool.
me what to do, colonizers, to my channel, because I'm going to start.
Oh, because
What? What's going on?
Jeebus was telling her that she should rename the panelists as oddballs because, you know, it's a fellowship of oddballs.
By the way, congratulations, Courtney. You're divorced. Yeah, I can't keep up with the chat. But glad to see you, Courtney. It's
Forget
good to
the chat.
see you.
That
Pope
may happen.
Metallicus, yes, he's here. Pop Culture Minefield, Captain Cranky Pants, that's me. Pope gets me. Hey, Pope, I wanted to ask if you would join us tomorrow for TGIF, because tomorrow I'm going to be celebrating, of course, Veterans Day. And as a veteran, I want to celebrate it. I don't know.
But
and again, I'm
Gerry,
going to tell the story that.
If we may,
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry to
Scott.
interrupt. We want to thank all of our veterans every day. We appreciate all that they do. It's very important to make sure to thank those veterans, especially tomorrow. But we want to say thank you to those veterans every single day. And I'm sure the veterans are listening to new music of some sort.
Possibly Billy Idol or Bruce Springsteen.
Or Sammy Hagar.
Or Sammy Hagar. I've just heard there's some new stuff out there. I don't know.
But nobody
We do
listens
want to say
Nickelback.
thank you to all of our vets.
You know what? I'm never going to shit on Nickelback. I always thought they were a good band.
They are a
They
good band.
got such a bad rap, man. Because they got too big too quick. So everybody shit on that fucking comedian, that big ugly motherfucker. He's the one, Hussein or whatever his name is. He started that shit. He's the one who started it. The shitting on Nickelback. And then it became like a thing, and I always thought that was undeserved. They're a good band. They're a solid band. Great vocals. They write good hooks. Oh, that makes them bad. Fuck off. Anyway, Pop Culture Minefield. I'll make it if I can. I have my own stream tomorrow. Can you cut it off midstream?
Not without some
That was bad.
I'm thinking about it because I got to tell you, I watched it last night. Couldn't sleep, so I watched it. It wasn't because I couldn't sleep. It's because I couldn't sleep because I messed up and took one of my medications 3 hours late. So I had to stay up an extra 3 hours to take my last dosage of my pill because my schedule was thrown off. And so I watched All Quiet on the Western Front, the new Netflix version.
The one you said you weren't going to watch?
Well, Critical Drinker had nothing but good things to say about it. And I'm like, all right, I'll cave in and watch it. I got to be honest. It was good. I actually kind of appreciated the fact that they, because I always felt that last scene, as tragic as it is in the book and in the original film, was a little bit melodramatic, heavy-handed. In this one, it's a more somber ending. Tragic, but somber. And the end of the film is on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 1918. War was over. And so you know what? I was surprised. I enjoyed the film. And I watched it in the German. I didn't watch the dubbed version. I heard it was terrible. So I watched it in the original German. And it's really good. Solid acting. Great acting in that film. And surprisingly good. I would give it, I don't know. I give it about a 7.5 out of 10. Courtney, you sweetheart. Look at that.
Look what. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on it, motherfucker.
Hey, how could you show that?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Shut up. Not you, me.
No, because I can never highlight those kind of comments.
We're going to have to get you signed in on my account. Because I don't know why it's doing that.
Look what Pope has said here.
Hoorah. Simplify, man. Anima, shut up. Don't. She doesn't like that we mispronounce that word.
Yeah, I have grown accustomed to that.
Because it comes from Semper Fidelis. So how does it become Simplify? And it's the same way as high fidelity. Fidelity becomes hi-fi. That's how it's done.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Marines eat crayons.
Well,
I love you, Pope. Just kidding. Although I think my favorite joke at the expense of some Marines I knew, was when someone said "circle the wagons." I turned and I saw the Marines. I said, "Oh, don't say that to them. They have no idea what a concentric circle is. They're Marines. They only know attack." No such thing as circle the wagons with the Marine Corps.
Well, about the pronunciating the fee as a phi.
Shut up, monkey.
This is in my purview.
So sci-fi is science fidelity. You're lucky I'm your friend.
Fiction. The word fiction is not Latin. So.
Jeebus, put the bong down.
No, he will never put it down. That is his. That is who he married, and he will never get divorced. But thanks for becoming a new member again. And yeah, I remember you were a member before.
So what happened?
What?
Why she was kicked out of membership?
I don't know.
Man,
I just thought she let it lapse. She was gone for a while, remember? She was dealing with stuff. We're not going to go into it. I'm sorry, Courtney. We're not going to talk personal stuff here. I won't do that. But Pop Culture Mindfree, you're not wrong, but at least we attack. This is true. Marines are this is a simple fact. Army is a holding force. Marines are an insertion force. The problem is too often there's a gray line between them because we use special forces now from the Navy and the Army to do insertion work. So that it's a real gray area, but primarily the Marines were always there for either security on naval vessels and naval installations. SPs are police. Their job is to arrest and detain for the Navy. The Marines are there specifically to protect the place. And, and that's why you'll see them at the White House. All of your military security at the White House are Marines. And same thing for the Pentagon. Gosh. They're the few, the proud, but yet they're everywhere. I love that about them. I asked Dolph Lundgren. His name was short for Dolphin. I actually had dinner with Dolph Lundgren, Jeebus, and Jim Woodward. You know, my childhood best friend who's been on the show. Dolph was dating his little sister, and I got invited to Thanksgiving, and I'm like, Thanksgiving dinner with Dolph Lundgren. Oh my God! And immediately when I got there, they're like, "You're not allowed to talk about He-Man." I'm like, but that's all I want to talk about. So I had to sit there for a while, and Dolph started talking about. Well, he talked a lot about science, but at one point he talked about the Actors Studio and learning about the method. And I immediately piped up, "Did you use the method when you played He-Man?" And Jim Woodward kicked me under the table really hard. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know why I do things, but I like to mess with people. It is my nature. So I asked Dolph Lundgren, and then I was broke as a joke. Oh, is that what was going on? I don't like talking about personal stuff unless people want to talk about it. I have to go have my rental car drive me to the store, though. I'm not kidding. A Toyota Highlander really drives you. Oh, it's like a weird spaceship. Doing much love. Oh, we love you too, Courtney. It's good to see you, Ginger. You awesome Ginger, you. I hope to see you again here soon. And have fun being driven by a robotic car.
Look
Bye,
what
Courtney.
Bye, Court.
Bye, Court.
And Raging Rat wants to know what if Dolph actually answered.
He just looked at me. And I think it was funny. I think he found it amusing that Jim kicked me under the table, because I didn't hide that he kicked me. Because, like, when he kicked me right in the shin with the heel of his shoe. And it caught me if you look at the heel of his shoe, there's like this sharp angle, and he caught me with that right on the shin. And I went, ow! Seriously. Oh, man. I'm so glad he's one of my best friends. I grew up with that guy. His little sister has married some famous people. Not going to get into it. He said, no, I was good because I was good. And, you know, I always remember Jim's little sister working at Chick-fil-A when Chick-fil-A first opened at our Springfield Mall there in Fredericksburg. It's like, that's all I remember her as. And now when you look up her name, Ann Woodward, you just see like all these famous people. She was a model. She was on the cover of Elle magazine, you know. And it's just weird. It's hard to connect the two because all I think of her still is that nerdy girl with braces. No, I was good because I was going to ask you about Blowhole. Awesome divorce, Ginger.
Pope Metallicus is a new member.
Pope Metallicus? Oh, yeah. Sweet, dude. Thank you. Simplify, brother. All right, see you later, Court. So I guess we can get into this shit.
Oh, we have time.
So, episode 1, which was called, what was it called? The Big Con. And what I found interesting is that it proves that being bought out and exploited by an evil corporation is just what Archer needed to move forward. Because we've seen some really weird shit over the years with this show, because when he goes into a coma, we get some weird seasons where we're all in his coma imaginary worlds. And I mean, they were fun. Don't get me wrong, a lot of fun, but they got really weird. And I was so glad we finally woke up from the coma and we're back to Archer being Archer. And so Archer has now been on the air so long that it's outliving some of the most beloved characters out there. After the loss of George Coe in 2015, his character of Woodhouse, the title character's long-suffering valet, was written out of the show because he died. They actually show the funeral. on the show. And then last year, Jessica Walter, who voiced Sterling's mom, Mallory, she passed away. But instead of killing her, they ended the season with her running off with the love of her life to an island. And so she's just out there having a life. And I like that they ended that way. It was Ron Cadillac, which was a great character on the show. Of course, the guy that voiced Ron Cadillac was Ron Liebman, who also passed away back in 19. So the big con this first episode of the season, we start out immediately already on the ground. We're moving, and we're at a convention. What was the convention called? Crap, I forget what it's called. It had something to do with the spy industry, intel industry. So it's a big con on that. I'm trying to think. It starts off with Archer in a simulation where he's in a hall of mirrors, and he's got to find his target. He's looking for his target, and you hear the target taunting him. And then finally he turns and shoots the guy with a paint gun. Shoots paint pellets. And the guy is not happy that he lost, and he's complaining. And of course he keeps referring to this guy as their new boss. What's his name? Fabian, which is voiced by Kaivan Novak. You know him best from What We Do in the Shadows. He's the Muslim Turkish vampire on the show, if anybody watches that. And Fabian talks with a lisp. It's like, I can't even do it. It's almost like Suffering Thuckatash, Sylvester, but with an English accent. And he's the head of a conglomerate spy agency, IIA, which has purchased what used to be called ISIS, which I don't know how they're going to continue that without some sort of like fear of association. But this company is hated by everybody involved with ISIS, especially Archer, and he hates Fabian. So whenever he shoots somebody, he pretends that it's Fabian, his boss, because it helps him kill them, because he hates him that much, because he wants to kill Fabian. And that is the greater story arc of this season, is the hatred between Archer and Fabian just messing with Archer all the time. So Fabian, again, is the head of the conglomerate spy agency, IIA, which now owns the agency that they used to be a part of. And yet he's in charge. So he must be saved when he gets kidnapped at the convention. And the entire team has to figure out who's in charge, even though they're fighting all the time over who's in charge. In the end, it doesn't really matter, because Archer's going to do what he's going to do, which is also an ongoing theme for the first part of the season, is Archer breaking off from the rules of the group. And there is this constant clash between the team as to who's in charge. And I believe that this is absolutely designed for us to build to the conclusion of this season, because Mallory is gone. Who's going to be in charge? So it's called Clandestine Con. That's it, Clandestine. I really love that. It's Conglesticon. That's it. I thought it was a funny name. So this is mostly an excuse, the kidnapping, for jokes at a newish target and some solid action sequences. It's the new target that matters most, though, which is Fabian. Archer's having to recon with an idea of a faceless corporate overlord stifling the creativity of the personality of individuals under their auspices. In other words, the work environment is suddenly strict and serious in a way that is virtually guaranteed to be very funny, especially as Archer himself becomes more and more frustrated trying to operate within these confines. So Fabian is the butt of every joke, but he has a few zingers of his own. So, because he's not Mallory, he's the complete antithesis of Mallory. But nobody ever could replace her. So there's a question of his allegiances too, because immediately in this episode, you don't trust Fabian. There's a duality to this character. He says one thing, but it seems like he's doing something else in the background. And of course, we start seeing the characters fall into their normal personal rituals with each other throughout the humor. And I forget the guy's name, the gay character. He's really pushing to be a leader in this episode. And this is something that's going to play out by the end of the season. His role in this, because he's starting to show a sign of, yeah, I'm a team player, but just like Fabian, he seems a little duplicitous in some of his behavior. And you see a little bit of that in this episode. But Lana, in the end, Archer wins. He rescues, with everybody's help, he rescues Fabian from the fake kidnappers, kicking all these kidnappers' butts. But Lana is the one who looks the best at the end of it. And I don't know if it was part of the plot, I'm not going to say, for Fabian to congratulate her over Archer, because I think he just likes messing with Archer. And so he congratulates Lana for a job well done, when really it was Archer who did most of the work. You know, carried the team, saved the day, and Lana gets all the accolades. And that's how that episode ends. And it was a great start to a new season. Well, I got to tell you, I am a supporter of the idea of an Archer live action film. And I've said for years that if they do live action, they need to get John Hamm. I think that's his name, right? Yeah. Hamm should play Archer. That guy's got great comic chops. I don't know if he could sound like, what's his name? John, whatever his name is, does the voice of Archer, and Bob from Bob's Burger. But I love that show. And then, of course, we have episode 2.
John Benjamin is the name you're looking for.
John Benjamin, yeah. If you've never seen it, he had a short-lived series, one season, on Comedy Central of John Benjamin has a van. And it's funny as hell, man. It's just him. Sometimes I think the pranks were real on that show. Great stuff, man. But anyway, Operation Fang is episode 2. And basically, Operation Fang is a bit of the paint by numbers plot. We've seen similar plots before in Archer. It's kind of an echo of previous episodes. But what I really like is that it really leans into some of these jokes. And some of them are just mean. So it might be an odd comment, but the jokes often come last in Archer. And the jokes come at the end of the setup, which is the way a joke should be. It's one of those shows in which everyone is funny all the time. And there's a lot of overlapping dialogue, and you kind of go back sometimes to catch what somebody said because you might have missed it. And once again, this episode is about leadership, which is the theme of this season, leadership, because Mallory is gone. Fabian is playing everybody against each other. And in this episode, Archer absolutely says, F this, you guys do the leadership thing. I'm just going to go do my own thing, because now they have crash landed on an island. And they've got to supposedly find something. I can't remember what the mission was. But now they absolutely need supplies sent to them because they're trapped on this island. And what is his name again? I forget his name.
Gillette?
Yeah, Gillette. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to be the leader. And he makes the phone call in to request the drop. And Fabian's like, I'm so sorry. We'll send you something, but that'll be taken off your bill, And so he sends a drop, and the drop is like way away from them. So they have to build a raft to go there. And they get attacked by hippos that escape from some sort of enclosure. It's insane. The show is so insane. And Gillette, man, he gets his ass kicked in this episode. Because Anima hasn't seen this yet, but he's like Darth Vader, more machine than man now, because he's lost limbs in some of the operations, and eventually also wants to be upgraded, and he gets bionic legs, and leads to a funny episode I don't want to talk about right now, because that episode by itself is hilarious. When he gets the bionic legs, and Archer is terrified that he's a Terminator. He's in a drug craze thing, and he's trying to kill Gillette.
Hey, no spoilers.
I'm just not going to tell you what happens. I just said that was the basic premise. So Operation Fang is called that because Gillette immediately gets bit by some sort of viper in the face, and his face swells up, and he's having trouble speaking, and they're giving him medication. Krieger is just awful. He's horrible, and giving him injections of whatever they could find, and they can't help him.
Well, he tells them to.
He only have
give me everything.
Yeah, just give me everything, because he's like, I don't know what's what. He's got all these syringes, and he goes, just give them all to me. And it leads to a double cross in the episode with Fabian, and Fabian's team comes in there, and Archer's like, I got the case. We've done it. And then he jumps and gives it to him, and they kick him out of the helicopter, and they go, thanks. And Fabian lets him know that I had another alternate mission going on, so good luck. So just so happens the people that they were killing are actually friendly. So they end up working together to get the hell out of there, because they now have a shared enemy. And it's just insanity. And Lana is constantly at odds with Archer. This is an ongoing thing from the very beginning, constantly at odds. And Cyril is just getting more pathetic. He's back to season 2, Cyril, just a complete loser. And the show ends with them trying to figure out, like, well, to the people they've been in a battle with, so can you help us get out of here? And they all get out. That's the end of the episode. But Fabian is clearly the villain of the season. This episode makes it clear that he is not just a foil, he is a villain, and something that they're going to have to contend with. And of course, Gillette, as we're going to progress, we're going to see what's going on with him, because I think he feels a little betrayed by everybody, because they were just going to let him suffer with these, because he also gets bit by a poisonous banana spider. And it's just the show is mean, but it's funny. You just love him. Oh, we lost Scott. Nobody's going to comment that we lost Scott.
I didn't notice it till now.
Yeah, I just noticed.
No, I noticed, but you were so into
Who was? Who was so? Who? Jew. I'm not the one who started this. That was Don. Don started that with you, buddy. yeah, H. John Benjamin. I love that guy.
That's very courageous. Hiding behind the old man. Huh?
Hiding behind the old man. As funny as that sounded. Yes, sir. You are a racist. So Archer started off with a bang this season. I don't know how long this is going to go on. I hope it ends up like Rick and Morty, where they get 1 billion years out of it, because I'll never get tired of watching Archer. Sarcasm, it's like, oh, it's like sarcasm, doubt. No, that's not true. I never get tired of sarcasm. And I think one of my favorite jokes was when he responds to a character in there. And he goes, do you think you used enough sarcasm? Oh, wait, I'm using sarcasm. Never mind. And he just walks away. Because the guy responded. Anyway, shut up. Actually, that's a good one. Frisky Dingo is how we got Archer. Once they realized they could do a show like that with that style of animation, that's what led directly to the making of Archer. And what's odd is, from what we understand now, because of the pilot, the unaired pilot, where Archer was played by a velociraptor.
That was so weird.
It's weird to watch. It's the exact same episode, but there's no dialogue from Archer. It's just him making screeching sounds as a dinosaur. And what I was told is that they hadn't cast Archer yet, or waiting for Benjamin to show up, because he was like the last one to record the voice. And I'm like, if that's true, that's interesting, because he is the one actor on the show who plays against the look of his character, because all the other characters kind of look like the actors, except for Archer. Because if you don't know H. John Benjamin, he's a dumpy little dude. He's a dumpy little bald dude. And Archer, of course, is dashing James Bond type. So, but yeah, Frisky Dingo led to that. The first, there was, what was it? That Under the Water series. It was based on the cartoon from the late 60s, early 70s. C-Lab 2020. And they redid it with new voices, and it was done as a comedy. They learned they could do that, manipulating previous artwork. And then Frisky Dingo was new artwork, and they were putting it together in a Flash style program where each part of the body is a different, fingers and everything are different. He looks like Mike Mignola. I have no idea what Mike Mignola looks like. Yeah, Adam Reed, man. Adam Reed's a genius, dude. Man, that guy's been knocking him out of the park since he got started. But that's it. We're up to 2 episodes for season 13 on here. We're going to do the whole season. And we're up to 2 episodes of Vox Machina. And I'm hoping that by the time we get to the end of the season, we'll be closer to a new season. Because do we know when they're coming out with the next season?
January. I think it's January.
Gosh, I can hardly wait. That's a good show, man. That is a very enjoyable show. What's that? Yeah, I'm going to go look up Mike Mignola now.
Yeah, January 2023. Obviously on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. Well, it's not so far.
Oh. Yeah, H. John Benjamin looks like Mike Mignola. Yeah, Mike is. Yeah, they both look a lot alike. That's funny. They're both kind of bald and dumpy.
Hello.
But I love Mike Mignola's artwork. Hey, Alex Moore. How you doing, man? We're wrapping up. That was it. We did 2 episodes of I almost said Frisky Dingo, Vox Machina, and 2 episodes of the new season of Archer. Thoroughly enjoying it. I love how Anima is getting to enjoy from the very beginning. I'm getting to go back and watch those with her, and it's fun watching them because I forgot how some of the episodes went. But I love the evolution of Pam. Pam is one of the most interesting characters on the show. She's a former bare knuckle fighter, underground fighter. She's done everything. Drug fiend, crazy character. And she, of course, was the head of human resources at ISIS. With Archer and them working for Mallory.
Yeah, not a very good one.
Look, eventually, Jeebus, I'm going to introduce Anima to that show. That is absolutely one of my favorite shows. It is a parody of
Johnny Quest.
Johnny Quest, in so much as that some of the episodes are echoes of actual episodes of Johnny Quest.
I don't know Johnny Quest. I know I'm frustrating you.
I love you,
sorry.
but you are a heathen. Yeah, Pam is a great character. She's one of my favorite characters on there. Her and Krieger are actually my two favorite characters on the show, because when Krieger finds out that he's a clone of Adolf Hitler, it's just like, what?
Oh my God.
Mallory is so vicious when she tells him. It's like, oh my gosh, Mallory is malicious. And he starts remembering that she was there when his father got killed at the house by the Dobermans. And it's a callback to a movie called The Boys from Brazil. But they even mention, oh my God, Krieger is a Boys from Brazil. I'm like, oh my God, they said it, the movie in the movie. Oh, it was great. And they show clearly who's somebody who's supposed to be Joseph Mengele, the Nazi doctor. But it's Gregory Peck. They drew him as Gregory Peck with the mustache. It was great. This show pays so much homage to classic 70s and 80s movies. It really does. Burt Reynolds, everything. But yeah, I think that's about it. I want to thank again Darius Munchausen for the super sticker. Do we need to say anything about tomorrow, John?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow for morning coffee, I'll be celebrating the career of Ray Harryhausen, probably the greatest stop motion effect artist ever.
And, he involved himself in so many different forms of effects, like Invasions of the Saucers, or whatever that movie was called. All the saucers in it were animated.
Yeah.
That were flying over DC in that. And that would be replicated later in Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
And they even used stop motion animation for that. I thought that was so cool. It was a nod to Ray Harryhausen. But in the immortal words of Don Ecker.
Now this is the plan. Get your ass to Mars.
There we go. Let's get to Mars, people. And I don't mean that stupid band by that guy that played the Joker. Anima, Martin, anything else I'm forgetting?
No.
I don't think so, no.
All right.
I don't think so.
I guess that's it. We just kind of fizzle out as an episode. I want to thank everybody for being here. I deeply appreciate it when you guys show up. I want to go back to the beginning. Of course, Penny was wonderful. Thank you for being here. Darius Munchausen, D. Bud Martin, Dragon Ruse, Colonizer Jeebus, a.k.a. Monka Jeebus, Brightest Day, Shinatsky, Eyes Wide Open, Joe's Atmosphere, the Peter Venkman fan site, Willie the Monkey King, Raging Rat. Thanks for coming back, man. It's good to see you. Real Wade Nation, Destiny Captain, and of course, Courtney was here. And Pope Metallicus, I salute you. And of course, our friend Alex Moore was here. I want to thank you guys for, talking in the chat, keeping things going, having fun, because that's all this show's about, is having some fun. And we love talking about these shows. Archer, huge fan. Vox Machina, huge fan. These are really good animated shows. And one last thing I got to say, Anima is not a big animation person. Now look at her.
Yeah.
Look at her. She's become a true nerd. Love that. Anyway, I love you guys. Everybody have a great day. John, thanks for being here. Martin, thanks for being the right side of my brain. And Anima, thank you for, I don't know why you fell in love with me, but thank you. I deeply appreciate it.
Thanks for putting up with him.
You know, it's,
he's not always that annoying, you know?
Yeah. What's really interesting is, you know,
moments.
one day, just for fun, I'm going to do that. It's a scene from a movie where the person says, I love you, and the other person goes, thank you. Just one of those messed up things to say to somebody when they say you love them.
But that's nice, at least. It would be really messed up if you just say, yeah, no.
Yeah. And for her, I say this.
This town needs an enema.
Thank you.
What town is that? What town is that?
Well, John will see you tomorrow morning. What? Yep. I'm sorry, Martin.
What town? What is the town that needs an enema? Garysville?
You know, backdoor city.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.